In this video we're going to go over the target results with the two rifles where I used my reloads in 7.62 by 54R and then also the 7.62 by 53. And the difference is the first series was with a 311 bullet, and then we did a very similar cartridge with a 308 bullet. Now the reason I used two rifles was in the initial testing I used this round receiver 1943 built Mosin, and when I was doing the testing I noticed the action screws were loose. Okay, and so I tightened them up, checked the gun out, and went and fired the load that I decided to go with the original test rifle. This is what I used to test the reloads. But I do remember when I was testing guns back when I had about 20 Mosins, I would go out and shoot all of them and do a complete inspection on them. And this is a 1934 hex receiver, hex receiver Mosin with a 1934 date. And I made a notation that this particular rifle shot more accurately than most of them, okay? Because with all mil surplus, especially the Mosins, they vary from gun to gun. Some were worn out real bad. That's when I would go and take measurements and slug each bore and measure the bores with gauge pins. And some were like new, but for some reason, this gun, in measurement-wise, wasn't anything spectacular. It's just when I shot it, this gun shot a bit more accurately than the other guns. So we're going to go over and, I have my control and I had the odd rifle. So now we'll go over the targets and do a comparison and discuss it in general. Alright, so our two Mosin Nagant rifles, rifle number one and the other one's supposed to be a tad bit more accurate. This is with our 7.62 by 54 reload, okay, and that's with the 311 bullet. So we ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess the first one, we're looking at a 3-inch group. At the widest, maybe, yeah. The widest spread here is a 3-inch group. And when we went with the supposedly more accurate rifle, if we don't count the flyer, it's 2.5, a little better, but with the flyer we're looking at about 3 1/4. Okay, really not much of a difference, okay, between the two guns. This one kind of grouped a little better, but we had a few flyers in there. Same here, we had 2 flyers here and a good 3-shot group. If you just look at the 3-shot group, you're looking at 1.5 inches about on both. So they come out about equal. So now the big question is, alright, what happens if we use a 30 caliber bullet? Okay, and that was what we tested with the other ammo. And again, here we have rifle number one and supposedly the better shooting gun, rifle number 2. Okay, and with number 2, we're looking at extreme 3.5 inches, and with number 1, 3 inches. So The gun I thought was more accurate, this was a closer group at 3 inches, and this is 3.5. So really, there's not much of a difference using either the 308 ammo or the 311 ammo. And the guns are both shooting about the same. You know, even though when I was out there I was kind of excited and thought this one was closer, it wasn't. So actually, like I said, with 3.5, they just about shot the same. So no difference. And of course this ammunition was loaded to single digit standard deviation on these here. They were pretty close. So not much of a difference. That's the results there with the Mosin and Gotch, using 2 different guns just to make sure, you know, one gun wasn't worn in that. And it looks like, it appears, we just about got the same distance, 3.5 inch groups. I believe I could get it closer, maybe using a different powder or something and developing it. I'm going to use the same bullet, the 311 bullet, but I think I may try a different powder to tighten these up. But 3.5 is where we stand right now. Alright guys, that's the review of this. Now we're going to go on to review our finish rifles. Alright, so stay tuned.